Hello, welcome to Halcyon Blink. On this episode, I'm going to be covering the Borderlands series, one of my favourite sort of games to mash comedy with action, explosions. It's one of the best games you can play if you have friends.
Don't forget the thumbs up. Oh, friend. Oh, new friend. Oh, friend. Please be my friend. Oh, friend. Oh, friend.
When I first picked up Borderlands and then picked up Borderlands 2 and then the pre-sequel, it has to be said, I thought it didn't stick with me. It sort of lacked behind other first-person games for whatever reason, be it the graphics, be it the gameplay, be it the difficulty level, and given its overall construction. Games like Metro Last Light or Call of Duty just seem to have a little bit something extra that made me continually want to boot it up, be that ease of play or a more realistic, stylistic way of presenting the game to the player. However, when I finally got my hands on a gaming buddy, the game took on a life of its own, man. With just the tiniest things that come into play when you play co-op, like cooperation, compromise, and exploration being key factors in a game that up until that point have been somewhat lacking in that department. The game has a wafer-thin story. I can't lie, the story isn't what's going to keep you hooked. But the world, the characters, the set pieces, just everything within the game has such charm and such pulling power. It's almost impossible to put down when you start getting into it. And the classic example of what I would use to kind of give you as a, here, check this out because this game has this, is the Bane. So a classic first-person shooter, fanatic, this gun has everything you could want. High power, rapid rate, unbelievable accuracy, super quick reload times. But because this is Borderlands, it slows you down, so you can only walk at a cruise pace. And instead of firing bullet sounds, it makes a repeated sound as you fire bullets. And then just little things like when you're moving, reload! It's hilarious. And it's so ironic that you do at one point find yourself as a player sitting there going, I love this gun so fucking much. But do I want to carry on using it because it's so annoying? Genius. Absolute genius. And that's kind of the reason why it's also more fun with a friend. When you add the co-op element, the game takes on a different life. It's not so much the goal, but the experience and the journey that becomes so much more fun. You want there to be more enemies, you want there to be more guns to collect, you want there to be just another edge to the mission, you want there to be another boss. You don't want the end to come, which is something that, you know, is rare in games these days. Often you play until there's a payoff. With this game, quite the opposite. You continue to play because you're already getting the payoff. And the game does a great job of making you want to play through a second time once you've reached the end of the story. The different character styles mean that each playthrough can feel unique because you can't utilise the same tactics with one character, say the Berserker like I did, to your classic Sentry type who specialises in more Sentry bots and weapons. All I would say is though, be ready for some pretty severe difficulty spikes and a lot of grinding to level up, because the game's leveling up system is thorough and dynamic. It gives you reasonable options and a lot of choice in terms of how you want your character to progress, but you will need to grind an awful lot to be able to get to a reasonable level that you can play the game without it really feeling grindy, like for every mission, every single boss battle is going to be a grind otherwise.
Light the fuses, bitches! I'm ready to blow!
And this is nothing compared to some of the boss battles who just don't make sense at first. Vast expanses of land that are really fun to explore but quite difficult to navigate at times. But the one thing you will need to be wary of in this game more than anything else is the inevitable arguments over who gets what gun. Because there will be moments, and they will happen, where a gun will pop up and the argument has been, well, I got the last gun, so I should also get this gun though because it wasn't that powerful and we can't do tit for tat because that's not fair. Well, no, I think we should, well, f*** you when I'm leaving.
I don't want to play no more.
Because that will happen at some point. As strong as your friendship and bond might be, trust me on this. Just have like a signed agreement prior to playing that says it's tit for tat, and you'll get along just fine, maybe.
Hell could break loose at any moment. Now here they go! Here they go! Michael's in hot!
It's such a great gaming experience, and if you've got a friend or three, this game is, even now on the next gen platform, such a good game to check out from the first all the way to the last pre-sequel. And if I'm going to give it a rating, if you're playing on your own, it's a somewhat forgettable experience, I have to admit. It's a 6 out of 10. But if you have a friend or three, I would have no problems giving this game a 9 out of 10. It really is a superbly well-crafted series. The first one lacking some bit, the second one wraps up so well. If I'm going to recommend one out of the 3 that I've played, it has to be Borderlands 2. If you haven't played Borderlands 2, definitely get that one. That was a definite 9 out of 10 if you haven't got it already. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Blink. Please like or dislike or share, subscribe, whatever you want to do, whatever those beautiful people out there. And thank you very much for the extra subscribers. I've had a few of those recently. So for those who have just joined me, appreciate you watching. For those who have continued, appreciate you watching too. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Look in my eyes, what do you see?
Oh my days, you're still here. Congratulations, you eager beaver. Oh, what's this? It's the new Halcyon merch. Actually, what I decided to do is for anyone that wants to contribute and come and appear on the show, or anyone that wants to send in footage that we want to use or recommend or whatever, they're going to get some free stuff. I've got a few bits and bobs now knocking about to say thank you for anyone for supporting the show. So please get in touch, or please give me a note if you want to come in and talk about whatever, if you want to appear on one of these babies, or if you want to be on a podcast. Thanks for those who've liked and subscribed recently. Please continue to watch, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.